I've never been a religious man. My parents had raised me in church my entire childhood, but it never quite stuck with me. The ideas of devoting my entire existence to a higher unknown power based purely on faith just seemed absurd to me. What if what they preached was wrong, and there was no beautiful gates leading into an eternal paradise among friends and loved ones long deceased? What if there was no lake of fire with burning brimstone, and the souls of the damned snared into an eternal torment? Would the life of devotion have been for nothing? What if it was all true, and I was cast into the flames with the other non-believers? It's better to be safe than sorry, my parents would always tell me. Being agnostic, I never dwelled on thoughts like that for long. Well, it is until today. It was very small, subtle changes at first. The world didn't even pay attention when it first happened. I'll start at the beginning. It was June. I'm not quite sure what made me take notice, but there was no lightning bugs outside. I hadn't seen any at all that year. Living in the southeast, they normally came around the third week of May, but not even a flicker. I remember talking to my father about it, who had lived a few states away, and he had not seen any either. August was cicada season. People began to notice that not even a single sound could be heard at night. No cicadas, no crickets, lightning bugs, nothing. The night became deathly silent. Of course, there were many speculations on why it was happening. Some suggested it was climate change, others leaned toward global warming, while others went towards more drastic suggestions such as disease, or some bacteria was killing them off. Then, the next change happened. We began to notice the birds, the robins, blue jays, sparrows, herons, and many other smaller birds could be found lying throughout the streets, yards, and forests, dead. Soon after, the larger birds such as hawks, owls, and crows soon began to die out, likely from starvation. Even small mammals such as mice and reptiles began to just seemingly die out. There are many different theories in this strange phenomenon, but every single one found itself in the same anomalous conclusion: ecological disaster. Soon after, not a single wild animal could be heard. Then, the food shortage began. In February, the temperature had reached 85 degrees. By August, we had the worst drought ever recorded. Cows, chickens, pigs, all farm-raised animals began to die out. With record temperatures, lack of water, and barely anywhere to graze, they would fall over dead from the heat. The next thing to go was the fish and aquatic mammals. With rising temperatures, and the waters beginning to boil from volcanic eruptions in the sea, our source of food was next to nothing. Soon after, one by one, world powers turned on one another for control of the remaining resources. War after war was fought. President and dictator alike fell. The world governments fell and left the world forever changed. The vehicles that once drove the city streets were now replaced with rioters. The churches that were empty were now full. Hundreds of religions praying to whatever god they worshipped, and I still didn't believe. Today, however, my belief changed, but sadly, I fear it is too late. That's why I'm leaving this recording that maybe, hopefully one day, someone may find it if I don't survive. I woke to the sound of thunder, a rumbling cracking through the sky that I had long forgotten. The few of us that were still alive left our houses and ventured outside to witness the thunderstorm brewing in the sky. Rain soon fell from the clouds, and we stood there, embracing the cool, refreshing gift from Mother Nature. Only, it wasn't without consequence. All around the world, the sound of trumpets be heard. The sound of horses could be heard all around us. In the midst of it all, up in the sky, a tiny glare shimmered through the clouds, becoming larger and larger. Soon it became apparent. The meteorite pierced through the sky, sound levels so high our ears began to bleed. Soon after, the sound of it making impact into earth followed the sound of trumpets once again. A small shape of a circle opened from the clouds, letting in the most beautiful rays of sunshine I'd ever gazed upon in my lifetime. Everyone became quiet, still, as a man descended from whatever realm was beyond this. Reports from all over the world had come in. Remote radio towers were still functioning. this man, this God, spoke in a voice that was like 1,000 different languages at the same time. Everyone understood him. Everyone knew him, non-believers alike. But it was too late. This man, this Jesus, he didn't come to deliver his followers from the pain and torment like the books proclaimed he would. People didn't just magically float off into the heavens, as the rapture stated. No, this Messiah came to give us a warning. The things we had witnessed, the famine, the rising temperatures, the wars, they were just as a moth is to a flame. These were not the horrendous monstrosities that Revelation spoke. This was just the beginning of what was to come. He proclaimed the earth no longer belonged to us, but now belonged to the very depths of hell itself. As I'm recording this, I can see the flames of nearby buildings being burned, the horrific screaming, people's entrails being strung up like Christmas lights. I know I'll soon be dead, but in some way, whatever world, if there ever is another world, I hope someone finds this to learn from my experiences and not to be a fool as I was. I have to quit recording now. I can hear the spine-tingling screams of the demons outside my door. If they hear me, I fear they might